Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I'm amped.
Hello, my name is Antonio Giraldi, and this is another episode of Between Projects. Today, we're here with Reggie. Reggie, I have a little bit of an intro I'm going to read off. Reggie is a multifaceted, multi-instrumental, multi-hairstyle artist in every sense of the word, from New Jersey, currently the lead vocalist and bassist for the hardcore band Good Teal alongside Shane, Kurt, and Alex, owner of Turnpiker, a video production company, as well as an incredible solo artist in his own right with multiple albums, most recently Test Drive, featured on That Good Shit with Annabelle Klein, Major Stage, and many other publications.
It's true, yeah.
Good Teal has been the main focus as of late with their self-titled EP out now. Just dropped an incredible feature-length documentary on YouTube called Good Teal, the documentary, detailing the process of creating this EP. I've known Reggie for 10 years, and it's been an honor to work with him, and he's literally a machine. So, Reggie, thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
Of course, absolutely had to.
For people who don't know you, could you give a little bit of background about who you are, where you're from, anything like that?
Yeah, so hello, everyone. Hello, world. I'm Reg Mason. I am from Union, New Jersey. North Side Jersey, and stuff like that. And, yeah, I mean, like, I was originally born in Livingston, if you want to take it way, way, way back.
Same. Shout out to, what was the name of the hospital?
I don't even, it might have been just Livingston Hospital. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
I got to ask Mama for that one, Mama Bear.
Yeah, I was born there, too.
Yeah, but I spent basically, like my whole life in Union. I mean, like, I spent some time in, like, Orange and Hillside on the side. I had like a brief stint in Florida as well that like really inspired me to like end up making the Good Teal record. But yeah, I've been writing songs for like 15, 16 years, and I've been releasing them for about 10 now. So it's been a journey, long journey.
Yeah. Well, the first thing I wanted to ask you, so in an interview with Good Teal, that you guys did with No Echo, you mentioned that Good Teal started as a secret solo project with this new outlet in a different genre community. Were you running like towards something or from something in terms of like being able to express yourself in a whole different genre? Because you primarily started and worked in hip hop, and I mean you're inspired by a lot of different things, but that's like the primary genre. And then like why was it like this like secret thing, or what was like pushing you towards that?
Well, I mean, I used to have a studio out in Brooklyn with that I shared with AJ Radico and Lou Palace. Shouts out to those folk, you know. And I don't know, like I was there even though I didn't live in New York. I felt like I was there the most amount of time just because like it was like COVID, it was the pandemic, and there wasn't that many opportunities for like social events and like being able to feel like I was in a communal setting.
Yeah.
So whenever I was over at the studio, I would be there for like 4 days at a time, like overnight stays with the sleeping bag and everything. And then just one of those sessions, one of those like sleepover stints, I ended up coming up with a demo that would eventually become Good Teal's first song, Free Fall. But as far as that, I don't think that I was necessarily running from or towards anything. I was just like, oh, like I think it would be cool to just have no rules, really.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I was approaching it from, just being totally open and just honest with what I was listening to at the time.
Yeah. Like, so in that write-up, you mentioned how you felt like it was comforting to express yourself in like a totally different place. So was the running from idea, was it easier to express yourself through like this new genre? And was there a way that you can express yourself that you feel like you couldn't?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, my brother, Comfortable Dude, like, and we both came from kind of like a hardcore, like even like metalcore, just in general punk background from like way back when, like mid to late 2000s, early 2010s. So I feel like that's kind of like etched into my spirit and just like how I like go through a lot of stuff that I do. So even when I was doing hip hop, there was sort of this ethos where I wasn't trying to appeal to like the suits or something. So I was always kind of like okay with the idea of being like a little left of center.
Yeah.
So when I eventually kind of came back to just like really leaning into that fully, I think it just fully clicked in the aspect of like being like the idea of like making music aside from hip hop. I think I kind of just got out of my own way with that.
Yeah, yeah. Was there like an expectation that you were trying to meet with your solo work, that you feel like this was sort of a relief to not put so much stock into, like, you know, Reg Mason, like?
Yeah, it was it was totally just like exciting to just do something new with no expectations. I think that with the whole like Reg Mason thing, lore, whatever it is you want to call it, was that like it was the idea that it's like every time that I'm showing up as myself in this sort of like I feel like there was like a song and dance aspect to it that I had to do. But with what ended up becoming Good Teal, I think that like that gave me a chance to kind of like just in a weird way, I think it just kind of just pulled the rug out, pulled the veil off, in sort of like an inversion where I didn't have to worry about how I was making myself look. I think it just kind of just reverted back to just being about the music instead of like the image aspect of it all.
Looking back now, were there any signs that you were itching to go in a new direction? Because the way you describe it, you know, when you guys were at the studio and you just so happened to come up with this Good Teal thing, there's probably things in the background that you probably weren't aware of as they were occurring.
Yeah.
I know you guys primarily, like you, Comfortable Dude, Les, have a base in hardcore, and being around him, and he was really involved in that. Were you always listening to it? Did you get more into it, like right before Good Teal? Was there something that got that part of your brain going? Instead of making a new hip-hop album, let's just pivot directly into something.
I don't know. I've always been like very just open to any and everything that kind of like slides across my desk. So I never really stopped listening to like guitar-based music and stuff. But I think there was like a good like 7 or 8 year stint where I was just like really like heavily hip-hop oriented.
Yeah.
But then like I think like as I got older, I think I needed like, there was still like a level of angst that I feel like I just wasn't exactly tapping into.
Yeah.
And I also really, I didn't know that I needed this, but I was really into like the instrumentation of it all. I think that there's just something, there's a certain aspect when it comes to like playing live and playing instruments like in real time that I think I really needed in some aspect. And I think the cool thing about punk too is that you don't even necessarily need to be good at your instrument in order for it to be interesting. It's more so about the expression of it, no matter if it's great or not.
Yeah.
Like there's a certain ethos to it that I really gravitated towards.
Yeah, it's like a lot of art stuff. You don't necessarily need to be good at painting to make a good painting. You just need to express yourself, and a lot of people are drawn to just the raw emotion of it or whatever it triggers in them, and that doesn't necessarily come from, I mean, technically, some of the best paintings are like people that are like buttoned up and it's like a queen being sat for a portrait, but there's, I mean, a lot of abstract art that's like resonates with people in a different way. For everybody, I'm not looking at my phone. I have my questions here. I'm not prepared. Excusing the Hurt off of Good Teal's EP.
Yeah.
It's something unlike anything I've heard you write, and even you say the same thing in Blood Makes Noise. I was reading through that write-up, and then you mentioned you went to a new place in terms of vulnerability. Do you think that change in genre and starting new and starting fresh, do you think that gave you some sort of kind of open field to really re-explore what you talk about?
Absolutely, yeah. Like it's like I feel like I tapped into my inner caveman with that one in particular.
Yeah.
Like Excusing the Hurt in particular, it just kind of just like covers like I wanted to be very careful about how I wrote that song, because I feel like the thing, and it's like you find it in a lot of like heavy bands where it's just a lot of like big guys just like being sad all the time. So I try to be mindful of how it is that I write. And there was even one band, I'm not going to say the name, but there's this one band. They make like pop punk, and the way that the music is written, it's very much like romance, women oriented, kind of like finger pointy, like I hate you. Or whatever.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to write something that felt open-ended enough that anybody who's ever been through something harsh in their life can like insert themselves into, but also at the same time like carry like what does 20 years of like being strong sound like, and then like how like we're kind of like knocking down that construct of like what a strong man like feels like or what that looks like.
Yeah.
And that's also another reason why I wanted to get my homie Guinea on there too, because I wanted to offer a different perspective. Because writing wise, my verse is kind of like talking from a perspective of like not letting like the hurt like from like your like from your past, like not projecting that onto people. And then Guinea's perspective is from the somebody who like was hurt in the past, but they can't push past that. But we're both on like, we're on opposite ends of the spectrum, but we come down to like, oh yeah, this thing from the past has like affected the trajectory of our lives. So that's kind of the perspective that I wanted to come from, but without it being like super finger pointy, just showing.
Yeah, I mean that's got to be tough to be like, how do I tell this story while being broad enough to allow it to be identifiable by anybody?
Yeah.
Because instead of saying like, Stacy did this to me on this day in this hotel or wherever at this house, it's something broad enough to where people can insert themselves and you allow that space for them to really put themselves in that situation. Does that allow you to be more vulnerable in general with how you're writing, or do you kind of just want to be like, all right, I did that, I'm not going to do stuff like that?
No, it's actually affected my ability to be vulnerable in general.
Yeah,
like I think that like if it wasn't for Good Teal kind of like giving me the, like being the vessel for me to kind of like have like my own sense of like microtherapy, I probably would be walking through life being like a lot less authentic than I am now. So there's a lot of power in like being able to release that and kind of like move on with my life. But it still inspires me to be more vulnerable as I move on with my life, you know?
And in terms of that vulnerability with Good Teal versus solo stuff, do you think that also would allow for more vulnerable like solo material?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's honestly no rules to the art that I make.
Yeah.
So I will say that where I'm at now with solo music, I'm like, I just want to do like fly shit now.
Yeah.
Like whenever like like whenever I'm like writing like raps in particular, and like Kurt puts something on, I feel like now that like all the 25 plus years of like self-analysis kind of like, it's not behind me, but I feel like it's all like very concentrated in like this one chapter, i.e. the Good Teal record. Now it's just like, I just want to like have fun and stuff. So I feel like that's where I feel like there's a bit of a line in the sand.
A lot of people need different mediums for things, because the tough thing is that a lot of us that are trying to pursue our creative passion as a career is that it no longer is that hobby anymore, and you need an outlet still as a hobby. So now your hobby is turned into a job, and now you're out of hobbies. So now you need to find a new hobby, but it's hard to, because now you're putting everything into this. So I think that separation sounds like it's giving you different places to put different things. Speaking of Guinea, I just was talking to Guinea here, and then he was saying something similar with DJing, music, visual stuff. He said he saw it more like seasons. Do you see something similar with how you approach things? Because you always, I see on your story, it's like, I'm hanging out now, and then in 2 months, I'm going to disappear for 3 months. So it seems like you do sort of that, okay, we're on vacation for 3 months, and then I'm going to be in a hole for 4 months doing this. Do you feel it building up that you're going to be working on a record or something bigger than just a one-off song?
Yeah, I have a yearly clock, so I don't like to release art when it's cold.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have a thing for me. It's like if I release music, I give myself from like March, April-ish to like October. Because I don't know why. I guess like in my brain, like maybe it's like conditioning from like school or whatever.
Probably.
But I only want, especially because we're in the Northeast too, so it's like lack of vitamin D, like the happy chemicals aren't in the air. I feel like I want to create as many entry points for people to listen to our music as possible, but I also want to feel good about the music I'm putting out. And I feel at my absolute best during spring, summertime, like just warmer climate and stuff. So yeah, I will say that there are definitely seasons that I feel that I operate on, but right now I'm in the free agent stage where I kind of just like do whatever it is I want, like shoot a video for a band, shoot a video for an artist, work on a documentary, or just all the other shit, because after probably February, I definitely start like padding out my year with just like a bunch of like very specific stuff to do.
Yeah. Speaking of the finishing up like Good Teal stuff, last month, it was the premiere of the Good Teal documentary. When making that, did you learn anything about Good Teal that you didn't really get to see before because you were experiencing that firsthand versus watching it backwards? Or watching it back and editing things and deciding what to cut out, what to leave?
Yeah, how much we all changed, like both like as people, like internally. Like I feel like in a way, like I felt us all get more and more comfortable with each other as the documentary was going along, and we all got way more attractive as the as it was going. Like seeing like the day one footage and like just going far and far back, I was like, wow, we all look insane. We all look ridiculous or whatever. So I felt like through, you know, our union, we were beginning to get better and better. Just I feel like I could see the music giving us life over time as I was documenting it. So
it was cool to watch because seeing how excited everybody was excited, but then when the cool thing with like music and production and stuff is the moment where you like really hear something and then everybody gets really charged up about it. And that documentary has a bunch of those moments, whether it was like guitar stuff, drum stuff, Kurt on the keys. That was a big one.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite scenes of him playing the keys.
That's my favorite too.
Yeah. We grew up in a time where there was a lot of physical media and stuff like that, and you are very much into physical media in terms of like records, like DVDs, CDs, stuff like that. I mean, even from your first few projects, you were still pressing CDs and doing all that stuff.
It's important, yeah.
Is that something with, I guess a documentary, in my opinion, is that thing of permanence and creating permanence through like leaving a stamp. I saw a post on Instagram where it was talking about they were looking for this one band's demo from like 25 years ago, and then they left it in a studio and nobody had it. I just can't imagine that. So it's like, how important is it to have these like artifacts of things, whether it's like a physical vinyl, a physical CD, sticker, T-shirt?
Oh, dude, it's everything. It's baked into the ecosystem that is like punk, I feel. Yeah. Because it's like a lot of people from like that side like just care so much. It's everything. It's like to hold like a vinyl in your hand or like a 7-inch. It's like you don't really own it until you feel it. Yeah. Honestly. So I didn't even really know. I didn't even really notice that that was an angle that I was coming from when I was making hip hop, but it's not even really a punk thing. Like, I just care about physical media in general. Yeah. Like, the idea of, like, licensing something and paying the money to own something, but I don't really own it. Yeah. It's like an agreement. It's just, like, ridiculous. So
I feel like that is just more in the community, though, of the punk hardcore stuff in general versus a lot more commercial things that are very much just digital first, and then
Yeah.
I used to, and I know you did too, just like buy signed CDs when
Yeah.
like rappers would make them. I have like Schoolboy Q CDs, Kendrick
Yeah.
Lamar like those.
know.
Yeah, you have the setbacks and contradictions.
Yeah, habits, yeah.
But they stopped doing that altogether, almost in total. And then now sometimes you see like people will get like a stamp or an intern to sign this stuff. The worst thing, one time I ordered a CD. I forgot which album. I think it was Blank Face, where they signed the plastic on the outside.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, that's an idiot, dude.
That was heartbreaking.
You
I think they may have like realized that more people ordered signed albums than they had, so then they were just like, well, let's just sign the outside.
You can't even unwrap it.
Yeah, I can't even unwrap it. I forgot even what I did with that one, but yeah, that was disappointing. But I feel like we have an importance on physical media because we grew up with physical media. I remember video games, reading through the books, and they even had like notes in the back to add the cheat codes and things like that. Or you would go and then you would write them on a piece of paper, stick it in the jacket. Now you don't even really own any of the things that you have, like you said. Is there something like, do you have like a library of stuff that you're trying to like build of here are my favorite things? Some people go like super overboard with it, and then they're like, I'm going to collect every Nintendo Switch game ever made.
Oh, no.
And they don't really have a connection to any of them. It's just more so a more stylish version of hoarding.
Yeah, very much. I mean, that's my thing with vinyl. I don't have like the most functional record player right now, but it's not. Sure, there is a sense of like owning the music, but I think at least for like smaller bands, I think that's the highest form of support. Like if you buy the vinyl, or if you buy like a shirt, hoodie, sweater, whatever, crew neck, that is like you did your due diligence as a supporter. So that's kind of like how I'm looking at it as well, on top of owning it. But if I love a record, I'm always buying like the vinyl. Like that's like the highest stamp. If I like kind of like something, then all right, cassette, CD here, whatever. Like maybe like a Bandcamp digital download. But if I love a record, it's going in the stack.
Yeah,
for sure.
My favorite part about vinyl, just in general, is that that's the way you could see the artwork the biggest.
Yeah.
In terms of like the stuff that I've bought, I don't have a record player, but I buy vinyl because I have a very small amount. But for some of my favorite albums, one of them, it's like a Bon Iver album. I forgot the name of it.
Is it 22 Over? Oh, yeah.
22 A Million. That album artwork, I think, is one of my favorite. And it's all these little details. And when you're looking at it on your phone, you can't really see them that well. No. And then when it's an experience, and it's creating an experience that's really getting lost because everything is turning over so quickly. And I think that's part of just content and things like that. So instead of making... here's a series of TikToks on how we made our Good Teal album. You did a documentary, which is a long-form thing. Kind of inspired me to why I'm doing this. I don't want to make short-form content that way because it kind of sucks to do. Yeah. But I think it's also just we grew up right in the middle of that change where I still remember buying like blank CDRs.
Oh my goodness, and
burning, and then learning that you need to buy CDWRs or CDWs to really change them, and then also getting an iPod the next year, and then completely streaming, cracking music and stuff.
That's the line in the sand with us, where it's like with the minute that people decided that it was going to be digital only and they don't know anything else, I saw the line in the sand between like generations.
Yeah. I used to my mom would give me $20 for lunch for like, I think it was the week or 2 weeks. I think it was 2 weeks. So I would take half of it, and then I would go to Best Buy every 2 weeks. I would walk to the Best Buy in Union on 22. On my way home, I would just walk past my parents' house and go there. And then I would buy a CD and walk back home with it in my backpack. But then I would read through the liner notes, all those things. And the coolest thing, I think, part of that experience is just seeing like the other photos and the photo shoots that you don't really see anywhere else.
Album art is a lost, like album design, I feel like is becoming a lost art in a lot of ways. Like I would go hungry, like buying records, just because it's just like it's an endless loop of happiness. I feel like if you could have, I think there was this Makami interview. He's like very rare, and he was talking about like how people devalue art, especially in the physical sense. But he said, how much would you pay for happiness? Like endless loop of happiness. And then like the interviewer, I think, was kind of like stumbling a little bit. He was like, you pay a lot of money for that, right? He's like, okay, that's why I price my records at $700, $1,300 or whatever, because if you have this thing that can make you happy on a loop, like regardless of how many times you listen to it, you would probably pay a lot. But the minute that I say it's a record, all of a sudden, oh, why would I pay $30 for that? It's like, yeah, you're stupid.
That's the thing. It's kind of tough with albums too, because one, you don't know if you're going to like this at first. Sure. And I bought albums that I did not like. Yeah. And that's a tough pill to swallow when you have to wait another like 2-3 weeks to then buy another one.
Yeah.
So, but the ones that I do love, I've probably gotten $1,000 worth of value. Just put a number on it. Exactly. Some of the albums. I have a couple shorter, quicker questions that I want to. So still, this is getting to know you, Reg, a bit, but then also just in terms of the genre or just the medium of music, video stuff in general.
Okay.
Getting to know you a little bit more generally that way too. Do you have any rituals as an artist, whether it's before a show, before you record? I know Throat Coat made a very big appearance in the documentary. And but is there anything that you like to do, whether it's eating a certain thing or just something weird that you do?
Back in the day, way back in the day, we were doing a show, and Guinea and I played Even Flow. It was a big show. Guinea and I played Even Flow like 55 times while we were driving into the city to play this show. So now, just like naturally, like almost, not every show, but maybe like every other show that I do, I'm playing Even Flow at least twice just to get amped up. And so I really like to play Pearl Jam's Even Flow to get amped up for a show. I don't know, maybe push-ups.
I got 5 good ones.
I'm over 20.
All right. He also weighs like half my weight, so.
You'll be doing some push-ups.
What are we on?
20 now.
This is the intro.
Whenever I'm doing like vocal warm-ups and stuff, I'll do like my do-re-mis and try not to eat like too close to the damn show.
Not a ham sandwich or something?
Yeah, nah, I don't want to blow chunks. Stick to just like peanuts and shit, and kind of just have that be that. But the main ritual is really just blasting Pearl Jam.
Yeah. What do you want out of music or this art form? You decided to, instead of just doing it with yourself, you now do it with so many other people, all the people of Good Teal, us and our friends, we've all worked together before. Is there something that you just really want to get out of this whole thing?
You know, if I was 19, I would have said, I might have played it cool and been like, oh, you know, like whatever it has to offer me.
Yeah.
But now I want it to be my job.
Yep.
It basically is, but I want it to be my job.
It's called getting older.
And I just don't really care anymore. I was not like the most confident person like back then, even like 2-3 years ago. And I think that just like just having a place where, you know, I'm able to kind of just like traverse all these different spaces and like kind of like feel like I'm like coming back home, just like a new and improved person.
Yeah.
I'm just way more like now. Like, I want this to be my job. It's going to be.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of just where I'm at.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people, I don't know whether it's like you were saying, like have yet to come to that understanding, but you need that if you really want to. You need that focus from somewhere, and that focus, like that drive doesn't come from, you know, we'll just see where the wind takes me, and you're not going to be focused. A lot of it, like you have to hustle it, and you have to really figure it out and you need the drive, not just because the wind is taking me this week. It's that I need to.
I have one story.
Yeah.
I have one story I need
Yeah.
to say. So it's a story about I'm not gonna blow up your spot. I'm sorry, but I was on the phone with a special person that I know, and she was talking to me for like 2 hours about how much she wanted to do, like this particular kind of art, like all this other stuff, and like give me all the reasons why she couldn't do it. Some of it was practical and understandable. Other was just like being stuck in her head.
Yeah.
And after like the whole TED Talk was done, I like looked at the time and I was like, it's been an hour and 42 minutes. And that hour and 42 minutes, you could have done millions of different things to get you closer and closer to doing the thing. I was just like, hey, like I love you, but you're either gonna do the thing or not do the thing. But if you're not gonna do the thing, don't make it my issue.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, a lot of people have a lot of ideas and want to execute them, but I think it's the fear of doing it, or it may not be fear, it may also just be insecurity. It just may also feel like the embarrassment, quote unquote, of it is stopping you from doing it. But then at the same time, all the people that we love, look up to, and made the path for that to even just be an idea that's viable in your head have already done that. So doing it is possible, and you know that now. Of
course.
You just have to kind of do it. And it's, I can't help somebody figure that out, but I would say if you want it bad enough, you have to just go and do it. And like when you think of it as a job and you sit down, you clock in, like even if it's not your job yet, you treat it like a job. It's kind of like you dress for the job that you want, not the job that you have.
Precisely,
You work for like you have the job that you want, not the job that you have. So when I do my stuff, I sit down, I know a certain time. When I'm done with my 9 to 5, I go here, I do this, and I know I write down what you want to get done, and you don't kind of set too big of an expectation for yourself, but you set an expectation for yourself. So if you have 3 things you want to do, at least do one of them.
Of course.
And then maybe start some of these other things, but there's ways to approaching that make it a lot more digestible and attackable.
Yeah, and anybody that ever comes up to me, like hundreds of people that came up to me about like making art and like how they get their start, I always tell them, don't edit something that doesn't exist. You're probably gonna suck for the first year and a half. So it's okay, embrace it. And if you don't suck by the first time, that's cool, that's awesome. But particularly with music, I was like, listen, do you know how to play an instrument? No? All right, safe to say, probably gonna suck for a minute. And that's the thing though. It's like that's the discovery aspect of it. And this kind of all comes back to like the casual DJ thing where it's like you can't skip all the way to step 10. It's like even, I'm sure like Yo-Yo Ma still had to figure out how to hold a damn bow or whatever.
Even with the whole step 10 thing, a lot of people, and what I see is a lot of people get to step 2. Like, let's say you get past step 1. I buy the recording equipment. I buy all this shit. I have too much money and I buy too much equipment. I figure out how to use a little bit. I make a real bun song, but I made a song. I'm done practicing. So many people stop practicing, and you see it too much, and it's hard to like even just witness because you can see that there's like an inkling of something there, and it's like you made it this far. You got past the embarrassment of not like putting out content. So you are doing good things. You are putting yourself out there. You are doing it with confidence.
Absolutely.
But you can't stop practicing the thing because even with school, I graduated from college 4 years ago. I still learn new shit all the time. I take online classes all the time. I read stuff all the time. And you have to keep learning to keep getting better. But then a lot of people are okay with, okay, I can execute a version of this thing. That's fine with me, even if you don't fully understand yet that this is the worst version of that you could be producing.
You're forever a student. So it's like, just embrace that. Like we're always going to keep learning new things. I tell that to people literally all the time. I'm like, dude, the minute that you feel like you have everything figured out, that's the moment that you realize that you have nothing figured out whatsoever. And that's just applicable to life in general, not just art. So yeah, it's like, don't be afraid to suck. comparison is the thief of joy. So please stop comparing yourself to people who have probably been doing it exponentially longer than you have. And at the end of the day, you know, it's just like, whether you follow a certain creed or not, it's just like the universe is going to reward those who show up. So if you don't, then it's like, what are we even talking about? You know?
Yeah, I mean, you can't be rewarded for something you haven't put out there.
Exactly.
So
just keep showing up, then it'll happen.
Some of these last ones we could do like pretty quickly. Do you ever hear mistakes in your music after you've released it? Like something that ruins it for you that you wish you can go back and change?
It doesn't ruin it for me, but I will say
you
this.
can feel it coming up when you listen to the song again.
This is the only time that this has ever happened in terms of Good Teal. This is an exclusive. I don't even think Shane knows this. So on our song Bittersweet, there's a certain run that I do in the lead where I sing pretty well, but like the little bit of tune that we have is like very minor, but I can hear that like my vocal line swings a little bit in like another way.
Oh, okay.
Like I think it's like and I wake up Sunday wanting it all with you, right? Like that's supposed to be the line, but I think it might be in the second chorus or something. It's like, and I wake up someday wanting it all with you. Something like that. It's like one of those lines where it's like descending or something.
It's like it modulated it a little harder than you would want it to.
Exactly. I think it only happens like that one time, and I'm just like, damn.
That's the thing that's funny though, and that's why I wanted to ask. It's like I don't hear that, but then like you do because you're like so close to the process of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny. I mean, there's so many things where it's like you'll hear it and you're like, why did I do that? But then like like something where you hear it, and it was funny because you didn't even tell Shane about it.
Yeah, it was out by then, and I was like, I didn't even notice that the video editing was done and everything.
I remember years ago when we did the teriyaki video. The funniest thing when that video came out, in Guinea's verse, the breaths. We did not. You didn't cut out the breathing in his verse.
I was
and then that master or whatever that was on the track, it was. I didn't even notice it until you said something though, and it's one of those things where it's like you don't notice like a dead pixel until you really like see it, and then you can't stop staring at it.
And the funny part is that didn't come from me. I think I was watching a stream where somebody was streaming it, and one of the people, people that were watching the stream commented, "Yo, this guy's breathing hard as hell on this song." It's like this time. I was just like, holy, I gotta fix that. So it was baked into the video. Yeah, now that was pretty nuts. But I tell Guinea all the time. I think he knows now. But I was like, yo, put that gain down when you record, please. I don't want to do that.
What movies, favorite or not, have had the most impact on you?
School of Rock, Spider-Man 2, Shark Tale, Lords of Dogtown, Whiplash, Licorice Pizza, Dope, Mad Max Fury Road, Encino Man. Shout out Brendan Fraser.
Yep.
I feel like there's one more that's like on the tip of my tongue that like I'm losing. I feel like I should throw a PTA movie in there. Did I say Licorice Pizza already?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, we'll double that. I'll probably say that's about it. If I get one more, you know what? I think I'm cool with that. Mainly School of Rock, Spider-Man 2, and Shark Tale. That's the top three.
Yeah. Why do you think Shark Tale had an impact on you?
It's like a...
Was it Robert De Niro's riveting performance as the shark?
Nah, I didn't know that Martin Scorsese was that pufferfish until I was like 20.
Yeah.
To be honest.
You know what's crazy? When you see it, it looks exactly like
Yeah.
I knew Angelina Jolie was that fish, though.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And Renee Zellweger looks exactly like that fish, too. But
yeah.
Shark Tale, I would like to say Shark Tale because my eye, like even though the fish were ugly, I really like the color. I really like the color theory that they use with like Oscar in particular.
Yeah.
Like with the bright yellows and like the dark bluish tones and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I feel like my interest in like art direction and like certain like how certain colors like relate to one another, it kind of jumped off from Shark Tale and then like the white stripes with like Jack White, seeing how he does like red, white, and black and stuff. I kind of then took that and then applied that to Good Teal with like the blood orange and the teals.
So
and
the
blacks
path
and
is Shark Tale, Jack White, Good
Good
Teal.
Teal.
Yep. And then Good Teal will loop around for the sequel of Shark Tale eventually.
Precisely,
around
yeah.
time. Is there anybody that you look up to for music?
Oh man, this so
It doesn't
many.
necessarily even have to be like your favorite artist, but maybe just how somebody operates or just their
Yeah.
mantra or way of going about
Yeah.
things.
On a personal level, me and Leslie's uncle Darren, who we lived with him for a time. He had like a home studio, and he was like basically like the first person, like the first adult that believed in our ability to make music. Also, when Curtis and I shot the Handshakes video, we did it at his house. And the cover,
really?
and the cover of Test Drive is like his front door
Wow, okay.
and stuff. So
That's
a
cool.
little bit of lore.
Yeah.
So I'd probably say on a personal level him. Oh, also Uncle Darren's very integral to like my musical journey. Like the bass that I own is his bass.
Wow.
That was the bass that he lent me the first time that I ever got to tour.
Yeah.
Almost every time we play a show now, he basically just hauled like all his gear over to me and was just like, "Yo, you're gonna find way better usage out of this than
That's
I ever
sick.
will." So yeah, Uncle Darren on a personal level, but like outside of that, when it comes to music, Jack White, P, the vocalist of the Hives, I've always loved his showmanship. HR from Bad Brains, he's rowdy. Who else? Danny Brown. I've always loved like his like one of oneness and his uniqueness. I'll always carry that in anything that I do in life. And I feel like there's one more, but I think I'll rest with that.
Cool. Speaking of Test Drive, you were notoriously bald on the
Yes.
So this is not something we've done with any of the other shows. I
Okay.
have a paper here. This is a segment called The Many Scalps
Scalps.
of Reg Mason. So I have some photos here going through your hair journey.
Okay.
So I've known you for a long time.
Yes.
I've seen every iteration of it. And funny enough, I was showing Hassan this before we filmed this, and he took every single photo that's in here. Okay,
Shout
so
out
for the
Haas.
first one, we have level 1. This is bald.
No.
So what we're going to do is, if you could use a word to describe the time that, it doesn't have to necessarily be the decision making, like, you know, the hairstyle choices, but maybe just like describing the time. I'm going to put this big on the screen so we could see the glory.
Okay.
But how would you describe level 1?
I would say model Reg. I really wanted to take a swing at being a model at the time.
Yep.
So for some reason I felt like, oh well, what they're all bald, right? So I just shaved my shit bare, and I was looking like a baby.
Yeah.
Gerber baby.
So we have level 2. We have a lower cut Reg.
Lower cut.
This is definitely post show.
Yeah, 1000%.
I zoomed in on a lot of these photos. I pulled them from your who tagged you on Instagram because you cleared your Instagram. So how would you describe this?
I would describe that as like a full-time worker Reg. I just didn't like.
This is a utility haircut.
Yeah, very much utility. Like
Aerodynamic, not as aerodynamic as level 1, but we're getting there.
yeah, like if I had a forklift certification, that's what it would. I would look like, for sure.
We have level 3.
Jeez. Oh my goodness.
We got the.
Yeah, that was straight up just like, what the hell was that? What the hell was I doing?
Now, this is the crossover to level 4. Level 4 is where you got real creative.
Okay.
We have the full iteration.
Yes.
And you can't really see it in the picture. It's blue.
Yeah, it's blue.
It's blue.
I was like tealish. In a way, you know, maybe I had good teal on my mind at the time. But
How would you describe
I would
your
describe
life with that haircut?
Oh man, so much sodium. There's so much sodium. I was eating fried shit all day. That might have been the photo that I saw that made me realize, you know what? I'm going to the gym. I look crazy. So yeah, hella sodium, everything fried. I don't do substances, but I look like I do. in those photos in particular. So yeah, I would say that's high level sodium Reg for sure.
Amazing. Well, the only way we can really round this out, I think, is what would be your advice to yourself from 10 years ago?
Ooh, I was 16.
We entered a parallel dimension. 16-year-old Reggie walks through the door. We can never play easy. He's probably almost on its way out.
Gee, oh my goodness.
What is your advice?
Throw the Adidas track pants in the trash. Go a size up in pants length. Shop at Old Navy more. What else would I say? Get a new guitar as soon as you can and start practicing. Stop eating so much salt. Stop eating so much damn salt. And tell your friends that you love them more. Go to therapy earlier. Do your push-ups. And last, if I can round it out, put stock in the GameStop.
Reggie, thank you. I appreciate you coming through.
Of course.
It was amazing.
Much love.
Thank you. Go watch the Good Teal documentary.
Thank you.
And this might not be out before the shows, but if there are upcoming shows, I'll put them in the description. Please follow Good Teal. Please watch that documentary. It's a full-ass documentary.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Oh, bro, thank you.
Oh, of course. Absolutely.